This is E, the non-algorithmic name. Thank you for joining me for another collectible critique and in my eternal quest for bankruptcy. Enjoy! Hello guys, today I'd like to take a look at the Hot Toys Appleseed Saga Ex Machinima Deunan Knute 1:6 scale fully posable model kit. Whew. It's simple enough. I don't really like Hot Toys that much. This figure has proved to be nothing short of disappointing from the images and what I thought it would be. First, let's have a small bit of background on the series. Appleseed Ex Machinima, or just Appleseed, follows the, should we say, adventures, escapades, missions of the eSWAT team, featuring the protagonist Deunan Knute and the love interest Briarios. How do I say this name? Hechantonchires. I hope I said it right. But yeah, moving on. Simple enough. I really do think this is an impressive series. You should take a look at it if you get the chance. It's got everything from movies, merchandise, manga or Japanese comics, for those of you who don't know. And I think what really impressed me about this series was its reception in the United States, because it was one of the first ever comics, should we say, that had a female protagonist who was very strong, independent, combat proven, everything. If you've seen her in the series, she really can hold her own. What else could I say? I think that the series itself is quite good. The character herself, the main interest, Deunan Knute, is, should I say, attired appropriately for most of the time. You know, they still have to squeeze in a bit for the soft-headed people who need that sort of sexual interest. As for the character herself, she has a very deep plot, ranging from a betrayal, murdered mother, blah blah blah. No spoilers, promise, no spoilers. So what else could I say, except I will try to stop yapping and let's get her out and see what Hot Toys have to offer. Okay, so we have the figure laid out. Let's see the accessories that come with it. Begin with this, a simple stand, nameplate, film logo, and the copyright. Inclusive for the stand, sort of a back brace, which extends quite pleasantly to hold your figure in place. Get two boots. They are left and right. You can see that one is left, one is right. So that's something to compliment the designers for. Now let's look at the hand accessories. Okay, you get on each hand, well, same, you get corresponding hands. Let me see if I can get this proper. Left and right for gun holsters. And left and right relaxed hands. And just a right hand here for the sword. The sculpt, as you can see, is not done too properly. I found that already a disappointing factor. You get her little combat knife, sword, whatever you want to call it. It's got a nice shiny finish, because you know you gotta have a sword and it's gotta be shiny. It's just not anime without a sword. Now the sheath for the knife. Simple holster for the gun. It's got nice little clips here. I like the clips. They made that quite, well, as accurately as they could. A little holster here for, you know, belt for like accessories, radios, bullets, elastic. Here you got forearm plates, left and right. Just arm accessories. I like the handgun, I think, the most. It's got a removable bullet cartridge with a little bullet there, if you can see properly. Hope you can. And it's got a nice little reloading action. Try. Here's a watch, by far the most disappointing, because the watch was actually quite a fun part of the movie. This is based on the film, so I'm going to critique her based on the film. I didn't take this watch out, I haven't done anything to it. It came like this from the manufacturer. And of course you get a assault rifle. The only moving part is the reloading action here. Hard to see with my hand in the way. Very hard to see. Yeah, that's the best I can do. Piece. You get a little eyepiece, sort of an electronic heads-up display. The back, it's just black, and on the front it's got small green detailing. The head sculpt I think is actually quite nice. Got the little headphones and anything. Again, on the Cool Girl figure the headphones are removable, but that's for a later video. I think the head sculpt is actually done quite nicely, the way it catches the light and everything. Very impressive. And of course the body. I hope you can see that properly. The armor is not removable, for those of you who are curious. On the Cool Girl version, again, you can remove the armor. Later video. And okay, let's begin with the, with the torture while I assemble it. I'd like to just comment a few things on Hot Toys. Number one, 32 points of articulation means that it can move in that way and it will actually stay in that way. Often what I see with these is that it is very difficult for the figure to keep that pose. Also, fully articulated, that's a very strongly worded sentence because the articulation is limited. Look, this one cannot. Sorry, I have to be critical here. This is a critique. You cannot move the arms up very much. I hope you can see that properly. Very limited range of motion. Twisting, don't even get me into that because I'm terrified that the rubber suit here is going to tear. Oh, before I forget to mention materials, this is a hard PVC and this is a soft like rubber material. Sorry, I don't know the full technical names. I do think the sculpt of the armor though is quite impressive. You look on the back. Yeah, let's look at something else I found quite disappointing. If you were to look at it from this angle, maybe you can see one of the problems. The armor is very poorly aligned. That's something I didn't like, and that's, I think, is because I've put the arm down now. I'm not sure if I can remedy that, but let me not try because I'm taking up time. A simple assembly, let me take care of that quickly. Seems easy enough, but it seems quite... Oh god, now you guys see why I didn't remove it. This is a perfect example of what I was talking about. The sticker just fell right off. I'd like a serious opinion. Do you think the head is too small? Because every time I've done this, I think constantly the head is too small. I don't know. Seriously, I'd like to know, because it might just be me. I'm just too much of a nitpicker. Okay, so here you have your fully assembled Deunan Knute. Okay, I've already mentioned the limited range of posability. Kneeling down, I don't think that's going to happen. I think it's mainly due to the rubber suit, but let me give you an example of what happens when you try to like raise the leg. It just sort of moves back on its own. Try the other side just to prove. The knees seem to bend all right, which would be useful, you know, I guess for a simple sort of suspended in air kind of pose. The arms, as I've said, are also very limited movement. It's not very impressive also, yeah. The elbows, I must admit, are a lot better than the Cool Girl figure. Let me talk now quickly about the rifle, assault rifle. Fits actually very nicely, but it's very loose. I wasn't throwing it, it just falls. So if you are going to pose this thing, I suggest you keep it together like that as they've shown in the pictures. Just rotate the hand up, and there we go, holding a very bad assault rifle. They fit quite subtly behind this, should I say, curl of her hair? No, I didn't get it. Let's try a second time, shall we? There we go. No, third time's the charm. There we go, third time's the charm. Beautiful, beautiful. So yeah, otherwise, about this figure, I don't know, if I was to give it a rating out of 10 stars, the pop factor for this, I would have to say about actually, this is quite a difficult one because I have a lot of respect for the animation itself, just not so much respect for the figure. I think that's probably because I have a high respect to the animation, sort of an inverse proportionality. So with that, what can I say to conclude the Deunan Knute Hot Toys figure? Well, I'd like to avoid swear words, but overall I think it's very disappointing. If I'm to give really strong examples of how disappointing they managed to make this, I'd have to take a look at the logo, which is not a very good sticker. It's just not a good sticker. It would have been better they just painted it on. Second point I'd like to add is the poor detailing done on the hand parts. Where's the hand? Done. The hand parts here. In the photo it's yellow, even in the movie it's yellow. Here it's just black. The leg parts as well, if you can take a closer look, you can see that he or she started to paint it, but I guess it was a union thing, work break, got a little hungry, I don't know. Also, if I'm to take a look at the back pieces here of the armor, those three little dots, they're supposed to be bright yellow, they're sort of dragged on the ground faded yellow. And I don't know really what to say about this figure. I think a good description would be it's a lovely figure if you don't touch it, if you don't move it around, because that way you only look at it and you somehow imagine it to be better. Then you actually touch it and it lets down all your expectations. I'd have to say, as I talked about my figure in my figure review for Figma, the Drossel. I said that a manufacturer always has to pay very close attention, and I've always credited Figma for that they've always been able to somehow, every single figure, they make it very good quality. Yes, there's a bit of variation here and there, but it's nothing like this. I mean, it's not so slipshod, if that's the correct word to use. I don't really know what pop factor I should give this, because this is the power of presence factor, and just looking at the figure on its own, looking at her on her own, there is a lot of impressive detailing to it. I mean, if we look at more positive critiques. I guess pop factor, I'd have to say maybe about... Wow, this is actually difficult. Okay, standing amongst the other figures, due to the sheer size of her, the height, she'd already be quite a little number. I think the whole monotone color, simple black color with a little bit of red trimmings and yellow trimmings here and there, and of course I think it's orange, the bright blonde colored hair, sorry, amber, whatever. I think overall I'd have to give it a pop factor of about, I'd say 6. It is impressive, but I do not think it's going to be the center of your collection. At least not without the next video. In the next video I'll show you exactly why this particular piece comes, I'd say, a downright 10 with the next piece. So I am sorry my video has been a bit discombobulated, constipated, whatever you want to call it. I did try. Feel free to leave any comments or tips. I don't know, you're just really here to see the figure, right? I mean, what I'm doing here is white noise. To you it must sound like... Okay, I guess then I'll conclude that. Say thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope this has been useful for you. Enjoy your quest for bankruptcy. I know I am.